Right, let's sort of style up this paragraph properly. I want Vedana, I want 20 pixels. I don't want the font to be pink. I think I want that to be black. But I want to have a border around my paragraphs. So I can choose border style, and the line that goes around, I can have it as dashed, dotted, or I can have it as a solid line that goes round. And I can specify how wide that line is. So if I choose border width, if I set that to 1 pixel, okay, so I've said that I now want a border around each one of these paragraphs, and for that border to be solid and 1 pixel wide. So I've saved it. If I refresh my page, there you go, and I've got my black text. Now I can make that border thicker by changing the number of pixels, or I could make it a dotted line. So let's take a look at something else like that. I think dotted is a word that we can use. I'm going to make it 4 pixels. Save it. Refresh. There we go. So I've got dotted borders, and they're quite thick. If I take out the dotted and put that back to solid, it'll be rather a quick, thick line. There you go. So I can put borders around, and I can change the width of the line and the way the line appears. I can even take things off the line. So I've only got the left-hand edge. I don't need all the stuff that goes around it. So that is one way of putting extra bit of formatting around by having a border. Now, let's see. I'm going to do a bit more formatting on this one. So actually, I don't want a solid line around it. I don't want a line at all around it. So if I do that and refresh my page, there you go, I'm back to normal, but I've got no border style. What I want to do is put a radius in that sort of makes it rounded. So if I do that, we still can't see what's happening. So I need to put some colour on there so I can see it. So if I change the background colour, and if I have that one as light yellow, I think finally we'll see what the change is like. There we go. Not very obvious. I think it's a bit too light. Maybe if I have it as blue, we will see the fact that this is sort of rounded. So let's try that. Let's try yellow and see if yellow is any better. Not very rounded. So if I change that to 5 pixels and refresh, still not looking very rounded. Change it to 50 pixels, that should round it. There we go. You can see that I've now got rounded edges to all my borders. I haven't got a line. I didn't want a line going around my paragraphs, so I took it out. So that's why I put none in there, and I changed the background color to yellow so I could actually see what I got on the screen. And I changed this border radius to 50 pixels, so I can change the way that the style of the paragraphs work. It's not very nice. Maybe I can change it for a more of a snazzy look on each one. So let's just finish off with changing this to give us a nicer look. So what I want is the background color to be, let's say, light grey. I'm going to deal with background colors a little later on. Light grey, American spelling of grey, please. So Verdana 20 pixels, and I'm going to change not the whole border style. I don't want that. I'm going to talk about each border in turn. So I want, let's take this one out as well. I don't want border radius. What I want is the border on the left. So this border down here, I want that to be quite thick and coloured blue. So, whoops, border left, colour, silly me, to be blue. So if I see what I've got now, oh, I haven't got the border left because I haven't said how wide I want it to be. So if I say I want the border left width to be 10 pixels and blue, oh, I don't seem to have that. And that is because I have not said how I want my border to appear. So border style is solid. There we go. So I've got a solid border going round, but the left border on its own I've turned into a dark blue. I don't really want the top, bottom or right hand borders either. So one way that I can do that is set their width, the line width, to 0. So if I do that, so I'm going to copy, well no, I'll just type it out. Border, bottom, whoops, width, 0 pixels. Let's check that out. That should get rid of the bottom border off them all. Good, so I can continue that. Let's just copy and paste this now. Let's do it twice. Those eagle-eyed amongst you will see that I've forgotten to put the semicolon on. So I want the top, and I want the right, that's this side, all to be 0. So when I save it and refresh, there we go, quite a snazzy border. Now that's pretty good. Oh, I've still got my right one. Well, that's because I spelt right incorrectly. There we go. So now really what I could do is try and think about each paragraph in turn and just maybe colour each paragraph in turn rather than have the paragraphs all the same colour.